Hey, you guys. It's David at Bali and Beyond, and Jeremy. Jeremy, what's your last name?
Demytruk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it Jerry Demytruk? Demytruk.
Yeah, some Ukrainian.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah. Is there any Russian, like Russian Ukrainian, or
Purebred Ukrainian, as
Awesome.
far as I know.
Yeah.
But that's only going back a few generations.
There's a lot of Ukrainians in Western Canada.
For sure.
Yeah. They came across the land bridge.
Yeah.
More than a generation or two ago.
This is true.
I just made that shit up. I did. Well, thank you for coming today.
I'm very welcome. Happy to be here.
Yeah, Jeremy and I had not met before, and so it was really cool to just find him in this room, waiting. You know, I was in the back doing something, and Jeremy has a really diverse life. I think it's diverse, considering where you are in the corporate world, but where you are with your practice and with your yoga and your meditation, and it's really actually super cool that you have a foot in both worlds, and you can, I think, bring understanding to a lot of people who are maybe anti-corporate, that don't understand, and you can bring love into the corporate world and presence. Do you want to tell us what you do like in the corporate world?
Definitely. So, trying to figure this bit out. Do I look at this or do I look at you?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Whichever I prefer.
Yeah, a little bit of both if you like.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I tend to close my eyes too when I'm reflecting, so I'll get a bit of all three. But for my work, like my daily work, I work for the government. So I work in environmental protection for the NEB, so looking after pipelines and making sure companies do what they say they're going to do to protect the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel good about my job, which is rad. There's no way I could work there if I didn't feel like what we did didn't make a difference or didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that a bit earlier, but just how I feel like you can make so much of a difference in any institution or in anything in life from within. Like I could be outside throwing rocks at the building. The impact that has versus bringing a conscious perspective inside to the people you work with and to those challenges within. I know in my heart that's the way, and that works, man. It's beautiful. And like you said, bringing not only that presence inside, but even bringing the teachings inside. It's like I teach Kundalini yoga at my office, and that's a trip, man. Like for someone who it's even a stretch to go.
No pun intended.
Right. Do a hatha yoga class.
Yes.
Like to be like, oh, that's a bit weird. Like,
So you got them breathing?
You bet. Chanting mantra in the office.
No way.
For sure.
At lunchtime?
Yeah, lunchtime.
Wow.
Fridays at noon. Kundalini yoga. It's going to shift to Wednesdays in a few weeks here, but I'm going to, this is another story. I'll try not to tangent too much, but I fly to Japan tomorrow for a 3-week snowboard trip. But that aside, bringing the teachings inside has been so cool, like to see people respond to that. I started teaching yoga vinyasa style, and that's, I think, a lot more mainstream, and people know what they're going to get. And when I made that shift in my own practice to Kundalini yoga, and I had to teach what I was connecting with. And when I first offered it, I was thinking, people aren't going to be down. It's too out there, Like I just had this feeling, but part of me beyond that was like, no, man, like you got to do it.
It's a bit bigger of a commitment for sure.
Yeah,
it can be,
it
but
is.
They can tinker a bit.
Yeah,
until it grabs them.
Totally, and just have that experiment to experience.
If they get close enough, they're gonna be in.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Kundalini guy.
Well, that's the thing, and it's like they knew me from before too, so it's like, and I know
Safe.
it's accessible. I think that's a big word in Kundalini yoga, and especially in that community, and that's how I connected with my teacher as well. It's like, I think the first part of that, that's a story that maybe is worth sharing. So I'll back it up a little bit. I connected with my yoga practice when I was in a really shitty spot. Like it's, what year was it? I'm bad with years. Like what happened, what year? I don't know, but I'm gonna say 4 years ago or so. I was No, it would have been 3 years ago. Our son was about a year old.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a hard time. It's a hard time for new parents when you have a kid and like you're just getting used to, you know, a tremendous lack of sleep, and there's a lot of stresses. I took a new job in my world inside the building, a manager job, so I'm dealing with people's stresses and other people's problems. And as an empath, I'm really owning that. You know, I'm taking all that on, like all that pain. I'm like, I want to fix your problems. Like, let me help you. It's like your life's falling apart. I'll put mine aside. Like, let's work on you. You know, it's like you can only do that so much, man, before it just kind of
especially
falls
when you have
apart.
a new child and a family and all that.
So I was
It needs a lot of attention and love.
Totally. So I was using booze to cope with a lot of that, smoking weed, and drinking a lot, and it was just a downward spiral that eventually hit rock bottom. And I remember the place I hit rock bottom was ironic. We were on a Mediterranean cruise with my wife's parents, and it's like, by all accounts, this paradise that like everybody would kill for. It's like everything you're ever shown growing up, like this is what success looks like this is where you want to be. It's like all the food and all the places and Greece and, you know, all these fancy spots, and I was fucking miserable. Like it was the worst, you know.
Of course.
And by no one's fault but my own. I didn't set any boundaries on what I needed and who I really was. I didn't know.
Didn't know how.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
And like that rock bottom is a sacred place. You know, that's like when you're finally, like, all the shit falls apart and the house of cards collapses and you're finally ready to tell the truth. You know, you're like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who I am. And now let's find out. You know, that's the beginning of a yoga practice. You know,
It could be. I just want to share that I do know that bottom, and I hit it. Probably I was younger than you, and around with drugs and alcohol, and a 6-month-old baby, and what the fuck am I doing? Kind of, you know, I was so ill prepared for the next, you know, adulting.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so really a boy in a man's body, and so for me, I chose like a 12-step program that to kind of lift me out of that place.
Sure.
But I remember that day. I remember the moments. You know, so you're right. They're a sacred moment where
Big time.
when you make a decision, you say, okay, I don't know what it is, but something needs to shift here. And
Totally, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and that
with you.
was, and that timing is, you know, we can look at it and say, question all we want in hindsight, like, did I really need all that suffering to get there? You know? And I feel like I'm a believer, man. Like in this lifetime, I feel like, yeah, that was necessary. You know, like I did need to go through that to realize.
Yeah.
And thank God I met my teacher at the time, Randell. She's amazing. She's
In Calgary.
She in Calgary at the
She
time.
wasn't on the cruise.
No, she was not on the cruise. No, she was back in Calgary. I had connected with her as a teacher, and again, my timelines will get mixed up here.
Yeah.
But I did a yoga teacher training with her around that time.
Yep.
And she was the first teacher who really introduced me to meditation. You know, it's easy to go to a yoga class and like we're going to move, we're going to do some postures, and we're going to lay on the ground for 5 minutes at the end, and then we're out of there if it's 5 minutes. But to actually have like a conscious class where you're not only moving, but there's like a sharing of vulnerability, like from the heart and soul, and then at the end it's, now you can rise for seated meditation. You know, it's like, whoa, what's that about? And that, man, that really hit home for me. It's like I had an experience in that moment. Like I remember the moment, the class, where I had a connection with higher consciousness and everything changed, you know, and I really dedicated myself to my yoga practice after that. It's like once that door opens, you can't unsee what you saw, you know.
Yeah.
And
No going back.
no.
Blissful ignorance.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm in now.
Man, so that
Good for
was a blessing. And about a year or so after that, so I'm on the Vinyasa yoga path, I was, again, it was almost this sacred moment. I'm at Banff Yoga Festival. They're taking Randell's classes and very dedicated to her, you know, like I'm your student, I'm coming to your classes. And she's like, no, you need to meet Reno, you need to meet Tiaga Prem. And it's like, well, who's this? Or why would I go see him? And it's just like she intuitively knew, you know, like what I needed as a student. And it was almost like this handoff. And so I took her guidance, and I went to Tiaga Prem's class, and it was a Kundalini yoga class, which I hadn't done before, so I didn't know what to expect. You know, ready with my Lulus, ready to do some fancy poses and look cool.
No whites?
No, no whites, not then. But he's, you know, funky looking dude, has a turban on, like these kind of round John Lennons, and just dressed up the way he was. And we had a few moments at the festival where just like I see him and like we pass each other, and it's like there's something there, but can't put my finger on it. And anyways, in the class he has us like first thing, like we do a big shake, like we're just like, just move. He's in our faces, like, you know, just move your body, don't care, stop worrying about what people think, stop worrying about what you think, you know, just move. Then we sit down and we're chanting together. There's a lot of use of sound in Kundalini yoga, and I just like started bawling my eyes out, man. Like the sound get me again here if I'm really in it. But man, it's so special when you're chanting with a group like that, and you're chanting sacred mantra, and it connects you, you know, it opens up your navel and your heart and your head brain together, and you connect with consciousness so fast, and it's so powerful. And you know, you don't know why you're crying or why you feel the way you do, but you feel that, and next thing you know, it's just like I'm super lit up in this class, wondering what the hell is going on, and like I need more of this. It's like the best drug I've ever had, you know. And I'm writing things he's saying. It's like I'm writing down all these teachings and on like scrap pieces of paper that I can find. And at the end of the festival, so that's one of 3 classes he taught, I attended all of them, and I just approached him at the end, and I didn't know what to ask. I was just like, can we hang out more? You know, I don't, you know, I was asking if I could be his student, but I didn't know that at the time. But that was the start of a big journey.
Is he here in Calgary?
No, he's in Vancouver at the Dharma Temple.
So you go there sometimes?
I do, yeah. My wife and I did a 10-month training out there.
Same wife?
Yes. My wife Lauren of, oh shit, I'm going to get in trouble here. How long have we been married?
But you had a child together?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that survived your low spot?
Yes,
That's
it did.
sweet.
There was a little split in there for, you know, I don't know if we even lasted a week or so apart.
It's called a reset.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Yeah.
It was just like, no, I don't want to be away from you. Like, what are we doing here?
Reset. You have
Totally.
to be able to say no to get a clear yes.
Yeah, to know what yes looks like.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Beautiful.
So yeah, dude, we did that training together. It was amazing, and really went deep into the teachings of Kundalini yoga.
Yeah. So the two of you practice Kundalini.
You bet.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
So it's like I've seen the other partnerships where there's one partner's real in it, and the other one is like, what the hell is going on? Like, what are you doing?
I've you know, a real personal experience with the energy. And, you know, I don't think I'll go in depth in the story online, but I've had I have the energy moves in me. And it's amazing when sometimes it depends on who I'm with, but wow, it's a hello.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah. And then that's it. It's like there's nothing to explain. There's no words.
Yeah.
You know, but it's why I get up at 4 a.m. and do my sadhana. You know, I pray, I chant mantra, I move, rest, meditate. It's beautiful, man. It's just like a practice that, like, I don't want to get up at 4 a.m. Like, I get up at 4, my alarm goes off, and I would love to just hit snooze and go back to bed. But I know the benefits. You know, and when I really know them is when I stop practicing. When I get off my sadhana, I'm like, I got this. I don't need this. You know, take a little break. A couple days later, the noise comes back. You know, the shit talker in your head is like right there again.
Yeah.
It's louder and louder. But if you reset that sound in the morning, and it's like tuning a guitar. I love that.
So do you do something in your practice twice a day or 3 times a day? Or?
It'd be pretty standard. Like, I guess my standard, you know, work day in downtown Calgary would be, I'll get up at 4, I do my sadhana, I do it in my little snowboard shop where I build pow surfers, and I'll do that. I might have some creative time at the end to do some work on the snowboards. I'll come inside,
You build snowboards?
I do.
It's a whole other topic. We'll get back to that.
Yeah. Okay. So that there'll be some of that in the morning after sadhana, perhaps. Then
Wow.
I'll go inside, sit for tea with my wife. We do
Yes.
cha dao, like tea ceremony.
Yes.
Just 3 bowls of tea in silence.
Mm-hmm.
And then draw tarot cards, take some guidance for the day. And then we'll start our day, play with my kid for a little bit, hang out, head into work. And then at work, I'm blessed to be like right across the alley from Yoga Passage. So head in for...
Okay. So you're on 10th Avenue.
Yeah, you betcha.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's rad. So then catch a noon class there, which is amazing. Tons of wicked teachers.
But no, not Kundalini.
Not Kundalini yoga, except I teach there now. I'm doing that's another topic. Well, I teach 6-week programs at the moment.
Wow.
So next one's starting Feb 24.
So Kundalini program?
Kundalini
So
yoga.
a beginner could come and
Absolutely.
you'll take them through
Oh yeah.
the whole process
100%.
and take them in and drop them off.
Totally. You got it. Come as you are. No turban or whites required. Those are technologies. You could show up like this.
Yeah.
I may show up like this.
Yeah. I've got my
No
ones.
big deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's so I guess twice a day, to answer your question, would be pretty standard.
Yes.
And at a minimum, I think like there's some non-negotiables with my practice. Like I will get up and chant. Like Japji is a prayer I use. I don't follow Sikh faith, like Dharma necessarily, but I love what Guru Singh, my teacher's teacher, said about this. He's like, it's not a perfect prayer, but it's pretty damn close.
It's like my Serenity Prayer.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which is close to a perfect prayer, I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
Man.
An acceptance prayer.
Yes.
Courage prayer.
I love that one.
Yeah.
There's another beautiful prayer that I should share before I forget it. I think Tommy Rosen shared it at men's camp. He said, oh boy, something along the lines of, I've totally forgot.
So Tommy's not meant to be here today.
Tommy's not meant to be here today. I'll get back to you, Tommy.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I know he'd forgive me.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Mel, nice to see you, and Anton and Gordon. Thanks for popping in. You guys love it if you make a note. Mel, it's like early morning in Australia. It's great for you to be tuning in. Love you, brother. Awesome. Look at this guy. Isn't he cool? Mel is a buddy of mine in Australia.
Okay.
Aboriginal man, beautiful man.
Right.
Rides a Harley.
Wow.
And you bought a new bike though, didn't you? Buy you don't have a Harley anymore, do you? What are you riding? I forget. It's a whole different. Bit of a low rider he's riding now. He's going to tell us in a minute what he's riding, I'm sure.
Motorcycles keep coming up for me. I'm so
I got a Harley.
Inspired. Do you?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah.
We'll go ride in the summer.
That sounds rad. Okay, well then I just need a couple more influences in my life to push me over that edge to get there. It's funny, I was thinking about the beard and the motorcycle. It's like, there's some of the old teachings say it's like, well, yeah, you don't cut your hair because then you're more tuned in, like you feel more of the waves that define this universe.
There is some teachings around the hair for sure, and that it's a bit of an extension.
Yeah.
And certainly with our Sikh friends, they don't cut the hair. And I don't know how connected the Kundalini is to the Sikh faith. Is it quite?
The teachings are similar. Like the Kundalini yoga teachings are thousands of years old.
Yes, yes.
The Sikh faith has been around for 500 years.
Okay.
So it draws a lot of those teachings.
Yep.
And you look at those sages and mystics that contributed to that faith, yogis for sure. Like you can see it in their practice. And
the Jains were kind of before the Hindu, according to what my research when I've been in India. The Jain faith is really. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I don't know much. I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
I think they're pre-Hindu, and then of course then there's lots of branches of Hinduism. And have you been to, just totally off the wall? Have you been to Bali yet?
No, I haven't.
Are you coming?
Yes. See, I caught myself there.
Yes. Yeah, but.
Yeah, but exactly. Oh man, we talked about that earlier. That's a good Yogi G teaching. Yogi Bhajan said years ago, it was in the 70s when he just came over from India, and he's teaching classes and giving teachings, and he says to Guru Singh, Guru Singh, there's this one word that is, it's the worst word in your culture. It's yabut. Like yabut. Like, what is with this word? Always getting in the way.
Yeah, that's right. Very spiritual teachers heard yabut.
Oh yeah, totally, man.
We're going to surrender. You talked about surrender. I'm reading a book here every day called Letting Go, which is, is another way of surrender.
Totally.
And I read it online every day at noon. It's written by Dr. David Hawkins. Have you heard of Hawkins?
I don't believe I have.
He's quite an amazing teacher. He's one of my teachers for many, many years. And although I think of him as a friend, we never have met. But the energy is in his books, and it's like reading. Years ago, we read the autobiography of a yogi, and I've always felt like Yogananda was a friend.
Man.
But he was also gone. He didn't wait.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I wanted to say before we got off on talking about Kundalini and meditation and all of that, in your work, what you do for the practical, and obviously you're there because you love being there and you're making a difference and that kind of thing. We spoke earlier that it's I think that Canadian, because you're in the environmental end of things, the Canadian standards are pretty high, aren't they?
I believe so. From what I've seen in the world, I would subscribe.
Because I talk to my friends who are in the oil industry, and in natural gas and in the gas industry, and they, they say that compared to the rest of the world, we're like, we're the benchmark.
Yeah. And
I think that a lot of local people don't recognize, that how far ahead of the game that we are in I'm in Indonesia a lot, and I love the Indonesians, and if there's anybody here from the Indonesian government, I love you guys. It's just that the standards are not the same. They're just environmental standards. They may exist in writing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the developing world is kind of nowhere near what we do here to keep our our planet safe and clean and clean up and all of that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to share that.
For sure.
You're there, you're in the middle of it. And did you spend time in the field?
Tons, yeah. It's like field inspections, a lot of what I do.
Yes.
And so that, I love that. It's like when it can get a little stuffy downtown sometimes in the office, like that sort of a vibe where, our office is pretty good for it. Like I've worked some other places where it's maybe a little more savage or cutthroat, but where there's this kind of, you're relinquishing your identity to take on something else, like this, the clean cut, corporate look.
You got that down pat.
Totally, yeah, I really feel that. So, and it's so, man, it's just like as unnatural as shaving your face. Truly. It's like, okay, so this person that's coming to work, this is you. Like, this is how you feel best. Like, this is you and your majesty and your comfort, like your true self showing up to serve. Like, I don't believe it, man. Like, I think people feel way more natural and way more creative when they're in their element, like dressed as they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's like a conscious business.
Yeah.
And like, they're out there. Like, you go to Arc'teryx, making clothing in Vancouver. Friends who work there, and go in the office, and people are dressed just like we are here, and people have their dogs in the office. It's this beautiful environment. You can just feel the vibe right away. It's like,
we used to have a dog. He was just too hairy.
Shop dog?
We did. Well, James brought his dog for a while, but one of the other, Michelle, who works here, just couldn't be with the hair. It was just too much, So, we thought about letting Michelle go, but we decided the dog had to Keep the dog. No.
There's an interview process.
Yes, we love Michelle, and we love the dog too. But anyway, so sometimes it doesn't sync, you know.
For sure, and that's it. And you know, all of that I'm saying there's like an element of tact required. Like I can't show up and be a complete savage either. Like it's an element. But then again, I don't think anybody really is if they're being honest with who they are.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're going through something on the way to their bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's different.
There may be a spiral. They may need help in different ways.
Yeah, sometimes we have to watch. And we know that they're going to get there like you did and I did. And hopefully they don't take themselves out on the way down.
Yeah, big time.
Awesome. Good for you. So you're meditating every day. I hear you have one of my meditation stools.
I do. Yeah, you bet. And so I should be using it more than I do because I've got a bit of a weird knee from snowboarding. And when I'm, you know what, we've been sitting on this thing and I haven't even noticed that we're sitting. You know, it's just not on my mind.
So it's great that you can do it this way. I can't. My because my yoga practice is not like it used to be, which means it's almost non-existent.
Yeah.
But there was a time when I could sit more like this. So it does work that way.
Totally.
You note that?
Yeah.
That
for sure.
Jeremy's sitting with his knees under, and Kat, you're doing it too. Does it work? Yeah. So I mean, I sit on the stools, you know, more like with my legs crossed, you know, and oh look, we're going to give us a little shot. So yeah, I sit kind of like this, and you can see that Jeremy's sitting on the meditation stool like that. And for those of you who haven't seen this, actually, Mel, you'll like these. These are made in Java, and what do you think? I had 500 of them made. I know I'm in deep.
Wow!
and we ordered another 2,000. So we think that we'd like to have one of these in every home.
Wow,
like my vision is to lift the vibration of the planet, one meditator at a time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
I have this idea that if many people, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people have a meditation stool in their home, they're going to use it.
Totally.
And it's going to call them because we pre-programmed them. There's a call button. Come sit on me. Come sit on me. And actually, we tell people that they're not meditation stools. They're actually transportation vehicles, right? To take them into the fourth dimension, Mal, the fourth dimension of existence.
Oh, man.
And skyrocket them. You like that?
I love that.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's a wicked little quote I heard that I got to share. And I don't remember the author, but it was along the lines of, as transportation and infrastructure technologies become more advanced, the world becomes a smaller place.
Yes.
As meditation technologies become more advanced, the universe becomes a smaller place.
Yes. This is it.
Well, for real, man.
Yeah. So the fourth dimension is actually limited. We're talking about infinity. To infinity.
Yeah.
Who is it that said that? The little character.
Oh, to infinity and beyond.
Yes.
That's like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, man.
To infinity and beyond.
For sure.
On our meditation stools. I think we could do that in an ad, couldn't we? Infinity and beyond.
Disney might not like it.
Disney will be okay. We'll tell them we forgot.
Oh, man.
Was it theirs? I want to ask you about snowboards.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, do you handcraft
I do.
snowboards?
Yeah, you bet.
Wow.
So, pow surfers, like really, really primitive wooden designs. Like, I'm super inspired by old Hawaiian surf shapes.
Yes.
Like just hand carved.
Do you surf too?
Full wooden. Very poorly.
Okay. But you
But
board.
if there's snow involved, then
Yeah.
not bad.
I have friends that go to Japan to board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
It's a sanctuary. It's just like amazing people. Culture is so friendly and respectful and helpful, and oh man, there's such rad people. I've just seen so many cool things over there. Like, I love how it'll be at the airport and someone will come into their workspace and it's like bow to their workspace. It's bow to their supervisor, you know, start the day. It's like such reverence, you know, for like just the conscious action they're about to take. And Even watching like the flag guy on the side of the road, he's like so into it, you know. He's like really gonna do a good job to warn traffic about the impending construction project. You know, he's like everything I saw, man, there's no one half-assing things.
So they're present.
Very present and like really mastering their arts, you know. Like the best, I was eating cheese at the time, but the best pizza I'd ever had in my life was at this little pizza shop in Japan. And this, the gentleman working there had been to Italy to study the art of making pizza to bring it back to Japan, so he can make the best pizza in the world, which I believe he was.
I thought the Greeks had mastered Italian pizza.
I don't know, man.
I'm just kidding.
I've been to Greece and Italy, and I'm still going to hand it to Japan.
Nice.
It was unbelievable. But just seeing how much that culture can take a given art or practice and just master it.
Should you make snowboards that you'll sell?
Yes, totally. So I have two businesses doing that. One's a not-for-profit called Baltic Shapes. So it's if you wanted to buy a snowboard, $350. I'll make a board that, you know, suits your fancy. Like, what kind of a shape do you want? Or here's some ones that I know work and they're rad. And I'll just kind of like getting a tattoo. Like, oh yeah, I want a tattoo of a cobra snake, and like here's kind of what some elements are like. You can tell me that, and I'll build you a shape. And then I'll take the $300 and I'll donate that to a charity that you choose. So whatever you want to donate to, I'll support that. $50 covers my costs, and I donate my time. The other one I started, like things were just getting almost too strange with the shapes I was pulling out of like my meditation practice. Really, like getting a little bored out of the standard. Like, yeah, we know what a snowboard looks like and how it should work and how it should look. But I wanted to explore that and push it a little further. And so I started Aruba Snow Surf, and that's a new business I've just started now, and it's really weird surf shapes, so kind of taking that Hawaiian style and going with reverse side cut shapes and using that on snow, and they work, man. It's amazing.
So I have a buddy who's right now in Sun Valley boarding, and he heliboards here, and if you have a link like to a page or to a website or any of that stuff, I want to send it to him.
For sure.
Because I'm sure he'll love this.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, you bet.
Hey, you guys, welcome. Hey, Mark. Thanks for dropping in. Well, that's cool. I love to see that stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. When's your next 6-week course at Yoga Passage?
February 24th to March 31st.
And it's like every day for 6 weeks?
No, sorry, it's on Sundays. So Sunday mornings, we'll start at 7:30. 7:30 start to 9 a.m. Kundalini Yoga. Typical class would be like start with mantra, chant together, tune in. I'll share some discourse and teachings, then do a kriya, which is like a set to achieve like a particular effect. It could be elevation or open the heart center, work on the navel center, the throat center, different kriyas that can be shared. Do a deep rest and then rise for a seated meditation, and then we're done after an hour and a half, and you can see how you feel after Kundalini Yoga practice.
Yeah, because once you get hooked, it's an everyday.
Man, it's real good.
It's every day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and,
You're welcome.
and sharing with us. And I'm going to post this, and we'll also link it to your page, or do you have a Facebook page?
So that's a funny story. I was talking to James about this 7 years ago. You can go look at my Facebook page from 7 years ago, and it's like who I was back then. Kind of be a neat experiment, you know, like what was important to me 7 years ago?
Yes.
Like looking cool, fast cars, guns, drinking, whatever, you know. And then there's kind of the pre and post awakening. And that's even the reason, like, I didn't delete my Instagram, you know, like, you can even scroll back on my Insta.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's like, you can
The
almost
old
see
days.
this transformation. Yeah, the old days. There you go.
Nice.
For sure. So, yeah, like, technically I have Facebook. I was actually thinking of just deleting it so people don't think, oh, yeah, we'll get in touch with Jeremy on Facebook. And really, I'm not looking at it. So.
You do use your Instagram, though?
I do use my Instagram. My handle is, Boomtown Dharma. I think on there, yeah.
And do you have a website for the snowboards?
Yes. Actually, just as of today, my good friend Kelby just set it up for me out of Vancouver. So it's arubasnowsurf.com.
Oh, nice.
Get me on there
so we'll
too.
put that link on on this and
Yeah, you bet.
have people
Beautiful,
see you
man.
there.
Thank
So
you.
will we see you at the Sheep Creek spring?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Have you been a few times before?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. That's
I've never been, so
wonderful.
Patrick's really invited us, and I'm looking forward to going, and we'll close the shop and all go, right?
wicked. Yes, please do. Oh man, it's such a beautiful
Cat
community.
says you bet.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
I know we'd love to have you all for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? Oh,
Yeah, right.
nice. So Kat's a Kundalini yoga girl. How,
I've never cried in a yoga class before I did Kundalini yoga.
Yeah, that's the best. I was joking not too long ago. I'm like, unless you make me cry in your yoga class, I want my money back. only kind of kidding. That's when you're really getting it. It's good.
I was at an event. James and I were at an event. Alice Hung had it was kind of the finale for their Untamed and Wild Woman. Untethered. Anyway, it was the finale, and it was all the women and 16 men and about 16 women, and we had some process, and I won't go into depth with it, but it so touched me.
Awesome.
So touched me, and I haven't, I guess I haven't been to Kundalini for a while, so I haven't cried like I did at her event the other night.
Beautiful,
in a long
man.
time. It was like, oh my gosh, and it was so deep that it threw me off the next day.
Yeah.
I was like, I could hardly function yesterday, and yeah. But that's
builds
nice.
up if you don't let it out.
I know, and usually I'm more into surrendering and letting
Yeah.
go and letting go, and stuff comes up, and I pray, and it moves, and but there's something, boy, when it,
Oh yeah, man.
yeah, it's kind of exciting.
That's so rad. I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's amazing.
Alice, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, you both do things at Yoga Passage
We do.
or
Yeah.
Passage Studios.
Yes, Passage Studios.
Yeah.
I got to get with the time.
I know. Yoga Passage Studios. Okay. Well, we love you guys, and thank
Yes.
you. And we have meditation here on Monday nights. Drop in and see us. And we've got a couple of things. I just want to mention that Amy Thiessen's going to be here. Do you know Amy?
I do.
Yeah, Amy's going to be here for Kirtan on the February 28th, and that's going to be really cool. And there's tickets available. I think that link will be here too. And I don't know. Follow us.
Meditation on the 7th.
Oh, the 7th, yeah. We've got Angus McDonald is coming. Angus, that's my best Scottish brawl, coming to give us an intro to meditation.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We found, because we want to help people create meditation spaces, and just droves and droves of people are like, I don't know how to meditate. What do you mean you don't know how to meditate? Well, or it doesn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell do you think
My
it's going to
mind's
do?
too busy.
Yeah, my mind's too busy. I can't meditate. Just a second.
Join the club.
Yeah. Do I have to meditate for a half hour per day? No. You have to meditate for an hour. Was it?
5
if
minutes.
you're too busy to
man.
meditate for half an hour,
Yeah.
then you need to go for an hour.
Yeah.
But, yeah, 5 minutes is fine.
Oh yeah.
5 minutes is a great start.
Headspace too, man. I've been telling people, if you're too busy to figure it out or to
Yeah.
do any of this Headspace app,
Yeah.
real easy, like 5 minutes a day.
He's so cool.
Oh yeah.
So the guy's voice on Headspace is the guy. He's the guy
Oh.
who started it.
No
So
kidding.
he's English, and he went and was in a monastery, and he became a monk, and then something happened. There was a woman involved. Anyway, he decided that monkhood wasn't his gig.
Okay.
But I've seen him interviewed, and
Wow.
he's this English guy with that's his voice.
Yeah, very relaxing.
Oh
voice,
yeah, on Headspace, he just takes you right in there.
Totally.
And so we recommend Headspace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys, we love you. We're going to go honest
Okay.
this time, and thanks for watching.
Love you. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Mm-hmm.